Okay, how to really love yourself, or how to really start to love yourself, whether you feel you are beginning to find out more things about how to love yourself or what self-love is, or how do you do it because you have realized that you have a lack of self-esteem or self-acceptance, or whether you have been practicing or learning for a long time about self-love and self-acceptance, self-esteem, and you have been working on it for a long time, and you just want to get more information or deeper information, or maybe see if you get new information from this video. Either way, I hope you get helpful information for yourself. I'm sharing what I know from many years of experience as a therapist and my own personal experience on what real love is and how you really, really love yourself. When you really love yourself, when you really know what loving yourself is, which is unconditional love and acceptance for who you are with everything that it is, then you can see how everything else changes. So first of all, is a journey, is a progressive journey, is something that is ongoing. Okay, it's not like, oh yes, I'm gonna do this, and then, oh, I love myself forever. No, it's a process. It's a peeling of layers and going deeper into your self-love. So it's the same as healing. Now, self-love and healing goes hand in hand. After this, you can watch my video, How to Really Heal, and also How to Heal Your Inner Child. It's all related with self-love. So when you want to heal yourself and you want to free yourself from the past, when you want to free yourself from insecurities, from fears, just to name some examples, that is part of you loving yourself. Just by you wanting to heal, just by you wanting to have a different life, just by you wanting to change a habit that you know is destructive, that is not helping you. That is already love. That's already you loving yourself. That's bringing some love into yourself, your life, because you're choosing something or trying to choose something or trying to change something for you, for something better, for you to feel better, for you to feel healthier. That's already part of you loving yourself. Now, one main practice that I want to share in this video, as I said, is a long process with many different layers. But one specific that I want to say in this one video, and maybe there will be more videos about the same subject with other practices, but the first one that I can tell you that is important, necessary, and is a prerequisite for you to continue in loving yourself more, accepting yourself more, beyond, like afterwards. The first one is you need to watch the way you talk to yourself. What words you use to talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, the way you talk to you, like how do you talk to yourself? Especially in cases where you make a mistake, or you're trying something new, and because you're trying something new, you're really not sure how to handle it. And that's when you make mistakes, which is natural. And The question there is how you treat yourself when those things happen. How do you talk to yourself? Do you judge yourself? Do you mistreat yourself? Do you use words of criticism, or you say things to yourself that make you feel even worse? Do you use words that are disrespectful to you, harmful to you, and destructive, or anything in that realm that can be called negative? But just to be specific, anything that is making you feel even worse. So how do you talk to yourself? It might be in a despective way. It might be in a joke way, but you're joking, but really you are insulting yourself. You're actually offending yourself. You're not respecting yourself saying those things to you. So you have to really watch, what are you saying to you? Because sometimes, even if it's something that you're doing for yourself, let's say, okay, I want to change my diet. This is simple example. I want to change my diet. I want to eat healthier. Okay. Now, that is a process on itself. When you have a lot of negative habits, it's a process for you to change those habits. And you're going to make mistakes because you're doing something new. You're eating differently. Everything is different now. And for you, mentally, emotionally, physically, when you change your diet, everything changes. Everything is connected. So at the beginning, especially, it might be really hard for you to change those things and for you to really have the discipline to keep doing it. So let's say that, okay, I'm doing that, but then you kind of having a hard time and you're not doing what you really want to do, what you really want to practice, and you're having a harder time than you thought, and you're challenged, you feel challenged. And then you start talking to yourself in a way that you think that is helping you. You think that, if I talk to myself this way, that's motivating me to do better. Okay? Those words can be from stupid to you are a failure to down, from there down. Okay? I've heard it all. I've heard all the words that you can name it. Now, don't be ashamed of any of those words that you might say to yourself. I mean, yes, it's natural to feel some shame when you really realize, oh my God, this is what I'm telling to myself. This is how I'm treating myself. When you really realize, when you listen, and you have to stop and say, why am I telling these things to myself? Why am I treating myself that way? Now, in this case, in this context that we're talking about right now, we can't go to in that direction, because that's more like when, if you're doing therapy or you're doing deeper work, then you go deeper into that. But for the sake of this video and the sake of the information that I want to give you now, for you to start, and it's a really strong start, I promise you that, because even people who have been practicing self-love or self-healing or self-development, spiritual journey, etc., for a long time, they still do these things. They still talk to themselves in a very destructive way or harmful way. And that's something that you cannot do when you love yourself. When you love yourself, you cannot talk to yourself that way. So the first thing you need to see, be aware of, is what words I'm using to talk to myself. And this has to be daily. This has to be in your daily life. This has to be in anything that happens. It could be in a relationship, some interaction that you have, some issue that you had with somebody, in work, work interactions, personal interactions, anything. And you trying to change something in your life, or you doing something different, or you doing something new. And even in this process of self-development, self-discovery, self-love, spiritual growth, awakening, healing, you are going to make mistakes, because this is basically new as adults, as adult humans. We are learning this. We are learning how to love ourselves. We are learning how to heal ourselves. All this is technically new to us. So we really have to be compassionate with ourselves. We need to have kindness with ourselves. We need to have patience with ourselves, especially when you are walking this healing path and self-discovery. You need that. And you need to have this unconditional love for you and this acceptance for who you are in the moment. The acceptance is accepting yourself, how you are, who you are, as you are in this moment, exactly where you are right now, as you are right now. No matter the conditions that you have in your life and in yourself right now, that acceptance needs to come for who you are in this moment. That's what real love is. That's what real true love is for yourself. That compassion, that unconditional love, that it doesn't matter where you are in this moment. You can be in your darkest moments. You can be in your darkest moment in your life, feeling the most depressed that you ever felt, or feeling sad, or feeling lonely, or feeling depressed, or feeling anything. And that's when you need to bring love to yourself. Because the negative talking, the destructive talking, that talk that you, it's just making you feel worse than you already feel. That is not love. That's the opposite to love. Now, it's coming from an intention that you think you're helping yourself, and you think you're loving yourself by saying those things. You think that that's going to motivate you. But the truth is that it's not. It's not. It's what we learned. It's what we learned. We learned that helps you. That helps you move forward. That helps you push forward. That helps you get up. And no, there is an energy. There's a different energy between I am giving myself tough love, meaning sometimes I'm going to have to need to push myself with tough love, like, okay, get up, this is enough to, you have to move, okay. That's tough love. And you can talk strongly to someone and say these things, but with love. You being loving. That's one energy. And another energy, very different energy, is you, I don't want to curse here, but you can imagine all the cursing words to yourself, because a lot of people talk to themselves that way. But let's say that you say, you stupid, ignorant, how can you do, like all these things, like how can you be so stupid to do that? How blah, 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 blah. And then you keep going. And the really, really, really destructive things that you can say to yourself. And sometimes you realize, and it's not even worth it. Like, was it that bad that you had to talk to yourself that way? Was it that bad, really? So whether it is really, 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 really bad, negative, destructive talk, or if it's just silly or making jokes, or, like there's another level that is just like, oh, you, la, 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 like kind of making jokes about yourself. And then that's what that's doing is that you're not taking yourself seriously. And that's another way of not loving yourself, not respecting yourself, not accepting yourself. So just be aware of those words, the way you treat yourself. So if you talk to yourself in a negative way, destructive way, whenever you find yourself doing that, and you have to be aware, you have to be listening to your mind and be aware, how am I treating myself? Whenever you find yourself treating yourself with anything less than love, that you are harming yourself, making yourself even worse, that you are already feeling bad, you're already on the floor, and then you're kicking yourself. Whenever you find yourself doing that, you have to stop. You have to stop. You have to use all of your strength, all of your energy, all of your attention to stop. Just stop. I'm not even going to tell you about the positive talking and can bring some positive talking to yourself. No, you can't do that in that moment. In this moment, if you are in that position, not everybody's in that position, but if you are one of those who are in that position, that you realize you are talking to yourself in a way that is mistreating you and is making you feel even worse, using negative words and negative connotation and destructive talk to you, towards you, that is disrespecting you, that is making you feel worse, it's making you feel less than, it's making you feel stupid, it's making you feel all these other things, then you have to stop. The first thing you have to do is stop. Stop. Just stop. And that's what you're going to say to yourself. Stop. Whenever you find yourself talking to yourself like that, you're just going to say stop. And you have to stop. You have to stop. You have to literally stop. When you stop, just stop. That's it. Stop it. Stop it. Cut it. You have to cut it. It's a cut that you have to do. Every single time, you have to stop. Stop the pattern. As soon as you stop, just stop. That's it. That's it. You can still feel bad about whatever it is that happened. You can still feel whatever it is that you're feeling. That's okay to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. That's fine. What is not fine is that your mind or that persona, that's a whole other story, that part of you that's coming to talk to you and make you feel even worse. That critic self, that judge self, those words that are just defeating you and making you feel even worse. That's what is not right. That's what is not okay. That's what you need to say, stop. Now you stop that, and then you just feel whatever it is that you feel for whatever it is that happened. Whatever it is, the mistake or error or whatever it is that is happening in that moment, that that voice was telling you or insulting you because something happened. And that's it. And you move on. Then the next time happens again, then you stop, do the same thing again. Stop it and stay in the moment, stay in the feeling, stay in whatever it is that's happening, and maybe find a different way. Then when you stop that negative talk or destructive talk, then find something else, find a solution. Find, okay, what can I do now to fix this? Or what can I learn from what just happened? What can I learn from this? What can I do now? It's proactive. So you're using your energy and your focus for something proactive, not to beat yourself, not to put you down. That's what that self-talk does. And the first thing, before you stop it, you have to be aware. You have to be really aware of your mind and your thoughts, how you're talking to yourself. So that's the first and most important step that you have to do, especially if you are beginning into this practice. And then, yes, you can also watch the videos of how to really heal and how to heal your inner child, because there's more information there about how you love yourself, or how can you have more compassion with yourself as well, because healing is self-love as well. The more you heal, the more you love yourself. The more you love yourself, the more you heal. It goes hand in hand. So you can get more information there, or different information from a different angle. Okay, now that is the practical step, or the practical tool that I wanted to give you today specifically. And I've seen it way too much with too many people. And that's why I wanted to share it today. Okay.